Okay, so we've logged into our hosted engine for the first time. We've got various options here. I generally, for my use, I just leave the default data center, and we're basically, the first thing we do is add a storage domain for the VMs. At the moment, I can go up here and I will look at virtual machines up here, and you notice there's no virtual machines, but there's also no hosted engine. There should be a hosted engine. Now, one of the quirks of oVirt is that to be able to see the hosted engine storage domain, you've actually got to install a storage domain, or a storage domain for the actual VMs. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go to storage, and I will go new domain, and this will be my default data domain, and I'm just going to put NAS01 /data. So it's on my NAS01, it's an NFS share, it's called data, and I'll just call this one data, and we'll just put in a VM storage. Okay, and we'll click OK here. So it should connect to this storage domain. We should be able to go back and watch this. So what will happen here, it's still inactive, it's still configuring it, it's locked. If things work as expected, then it automatically goes and adds the domain for the actual hosted engine as well. And then we should be able to go back here at one stage and see our virtual machines, and we should start seeing, okay, so she's just going to work in the background. We'll just go back to storage, and we've got our data storage, and it's still working in the background getting that set up. So we'll just give it a little bit of time to finish and wait until it's available. One of the things about the actual interface here is you can drag this up and you can see what it's actually up to. So it's saying storage domain will start by default. So we'll go back to our storage, and suddenly we've actually got the hosted storage now. So like I said before, that sort of automatically connects. This is still being configured in the background. It gives its own name, it's activating it, and with any luck, we should be able to go back to the top again. We should be able to see virtual machines. No, it's not there yet. So we'll go back to our storage, and it's active. And we'll try again. Virtual machines. Is it going to give me virtual machines? There it is. There's the hosted engine. So a little bit of one of these little quirks about oVirt. oVirt's an awesome little system, but lots and lots of little quirks going on there, and lots of little things which are not really obvious. They are documented, but they're not totally obvious all the time. Okay, so we've now added our data domain, and that will be where we keep our VMs. It's automatically added the hosted storage, and this is the storage where it actually keeps the hosted engine. They're saying, I've seen on forums or user mailing lists that maybe in the future they'll bring those together, but at the moment they are two separate things. The next thing we'll do is add in two more storage domains, and that will be our ISO domain and our export domain. So we might as well do them just as part of configuration. Did I hit the caps lock key? NAS01 : so we'll just go ISO, and we will select the type of domain up here as ISO, and we'll just call that ISO, and can't type ISOs, and that should be enough there. We'll add that storage domain. That will allow us to copy ISOs to that storage and be able to mount them for either booting off new virtual machines or A lot of the time it's used for installing drivers. So I'll add another domain while that one's still working, and this will be our export domain, and so we'll call that export, and export in description, and we'll go naso1:/export. That's our NFS export share, used for both importing and exporting virtual machines. So we'll just go OK on that. Oh, what have we done wrong? Problem or trying to mount the target? What have I done? NASA, I didn't put the name correct. It's not NASA, it's NASA01. So we'll just try again then. Hopefully this works. You can see in the background it's set our ISO domain as active, and it'll work on our export domain. Okay, so that's basically, we've logged into the hosted engine for the first time. We've added our storage domains, and we have our hosted engine up in our virtual machine list. Okay, that's the end of this video. In the next video, I will be going over adding additional hosts, and there's a few little quirky little things on adding additional hosts as well. So that's enough for this one.